A charging brick and a pair of wired earphones once removed, they paved the way for a multi-billion-dollar market. Isn't this just a masterfully calculated move by manufacturers to prioritize their own profits? These two items used to be standard included accessories with every smartphone purchase, but manufacturers claimed it was for dust and water resistance and environmental protection, ultimately forcing users to shell out extra cash for Bluetooth earphones and chargers. Manufacturers cut costs and boosted profits while consumers were left footing the bill. Take Bluetooth earphones alone. In 2024 alone, about 450 million units were sold worldwide. Is the century-old technology of the headphone jack really outdated? Hello everyone, this is Kanchai. Today we're putting headphones in the spotlight. Here is a headphone jack now vanished from phones. It's typically composed of a casing, insulating rings, contact points, and spring contacts. When you plug the headphones into the jack, the various parts of the plug establish electrical connections with corresponding contact points, so transmitting audio signals to the earphones to enable playback. So while this jack might not look aesthetically pleasing, it genuinely solved the challenge of audio transmission for use. However, the glory days of the headphone jack didn't last much longer. In 2016, Apple released the iPhone 7 and famously announced the removal of the headphone jack. Following the launch, it seemed as though many manufacturers reached a consensus overnight, with the Xiaomi 6 Nubia 17 and the Smart is a Nut Pro all jumping on the bandwagon. From that point on, removing the headphone jack became the new industry standard. So why are manufacturers so determined to get rid of the headphone jack? Actually, it's quite simple. It saves internal space within the phone. This not only allows for a larger battery, it also creates a new selling point for smartphones. For instance, Apple's official justification for removing the headphone jack at the time was not only to accommodate a larger taptic engine and stereo speakers, but also to free up internal space and solve users' concerns about water damage once and for all. Simply put, it's not that we don't want to save money, but rather to provide users with a better experience. So is removing the headphone jack really such a bad thing? Looking at it from today's perspective, wired headphones were plug and play and certainly convenient at first, but once put in a bag, the wires would immediately tangle into a mess, taking significant effort just to untangle them. Plus, the wear and tear on the headphone jack from constant plugging and unplugging was a major drawback, often requiring a trip to the repair shop. However, as the headphone jack was removed, Bluetooth earphones entered the scene, and people no longer had to worry about tangled cables, while also discovering new form factors such as clip-on earhook and over-ear styles offering more ways to enjoy audio. Let's take clip-on earphones as an example. They've emerged in recent years, solving the pain points of traditional earphones: discomfort after long wear, falling out easily, and being cumbersome to carry. They quickly ignited the market and received widespread praise. The only point of criticism is their open ear design, which fails to create a closed acoustic space, resulting in sound quality inferior to traditional earphones. In response to this, major manufacturers have stepped up their efforts. For example, the Basius X-Cone earphones, launched in September, are in my opinion a prime example of balancing sound quality and comfort. Breaking through previous technical limitations, managed to fit a Knowles dynamic driver into the compact earphone housing. Featuring a dual balanced armature acoustic structure, it offers deeper bass extension and greater impact. Audio details are crystal clear with high frequency resolution that is bright and transparent. It's as if the sound is coated in a delicate, refined luster. Beyond that, this model is a collaboration with acoustic giant Bose. It not only incorporates Bose's 60 years of professional audio tuning expertise, but also allows consumers to fine-tune the audio according to their own listening styles and preferences, adjusting the treble, mids, and bass with precision. Standard industry features like high-res audio certification, Dolby Spatial Audio, and other premium enhancements are all included, allowing anyone to enjoy a concert-level auditory feast right from their smartphones. User experience of the X-Cone is also exceptionally smooth. There's no need to distinguish between left and right, and they calibrate automatically once worn. Just pick them up and put them on. It's all about simplicity and convenience. With old headphones, regardless of what the ads claim or how much they were hyped, wearing them for over 2 hours would make your ears hurt so much you'd want to rip them off and toss them aside. However, in the design of the Basius X-Cone, it not only incorporates the C-bridge ergonomic design, ensuring a snug fit against the auricle, but also utilizes ultra-soft silicone to perfectly avoid all pressure points. Users won't feel any discomfort even after wearing them all day. Whether you're a commuter, listening to music or audiobooks for hours, or a fitness enthusiast during an intense workout, the X-Cone meets every need. In fact, the advancement of Bluetooth headphones is also driving progress in the wired headphone market. In the past, earphones were just a free accessory bundled with phones, both manufacturers and consumers felt that as long as they worked, it was enough. But today, how consumers perceive headphones is no longer limited to mere utility. Take the wired-only trend that has gained popularity recently. In this retro wave, when consumers buy headphones, they don't just consider whether the sound quality is good. They also care about the wearing comfort and whether the style and design look trendy. From a manufacturer's perspective, if a product fails to meet these demands, it will be dead on arrival right after leaving the factory, eventually destined for the scrap heap. Although we now realize that removing the headphone jack wasn't necessarily a bad thing, consumers at the time weren't buying the manufacturer's excuses. Many argued that while you could once just plug in and listen, you now need an extra dongle. It's like cutting a hole in an umbrella for style, and then needing a raincoat just to stay dry. It was basically creating a problem just to sell a solution. Beyond that, some consumers pointed out that while removing the jack solved certain issues, it simultaneously created new ones. For instance, when using wired headphones with Lightning or USB-C connectors, they might only work with iPhones while being incompatible with computers, cameras, and other devices. To achieve compatibility, you'd have to buy another pair of headphones with a proprietary connector. Manufacturers claimed they were doing it for the greater good, but it really just served to drain consumers' wallets faster. Most tellingly, at the same time, Apple removed the jack. They also introduced their own AirPods. Previously, buying a phone usually included a free pair of earphones, but now you have to go out and buy a new pair separately. This just makes more people feel that Apple is just paying lip service, when in reality it's just about creating a new revenue stream. It is precisely because of this that when Apple claimed that cutting the headphone jack was an act of courage, it wasn't met with applause, but rather widespread mockery. Many people remarked, "Wow, you really are quite brave." But in all honesty, there was no need to treat our wallets as your source of confidence. Actually, regardless of whether you call it stirring up trouble or call them business savvy, there is one thing we cannot deny. Amidst the major trends of wireless connectivity and device integration, if Apple hadn't cut the headphone jack, other manufacturers surely would have. Technological progress is often built upon the foundation of phasing out the old. Apple's headphone revolution, while causing some initial growing pains, has also helped shape something that is much better suited to our modern lifestyle.